Good everybody, Just the Chats here, World Cup Daily, and we are coming with what I think are going to be the top 5 groups of death in this World Cup. Obviously, this World Cup has 48 teams instead of 32, so there's a lot more range of teams, but I do think there are still a few groups that are absolutely terrifying and that are going to be a bit more competitive than others. Starting with Group I, with France, Senegal, Norway, and Iraq. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Iraq is probably not really going to do much in that group. But I think France, Senegal, and Norway is a very tricky three. With Erling Haaland and Odegaard for Norway in their first World Cup, Senegal being the best African team, and obviously France, a big favorite for the tournament. I do think it's going to be a tricky group in Group I. Next group would be Group H, which features Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. Now, obviously, I think Spain and Uruguay would be the clear favorites to come out of that group. But I do remember Saudi Arabia in the last World Cup surprised Argentina by winning the opening game. I do think they can maybe have a bit of a say. And Cape Verde, I mean, this is probably their first World Cup in who knows how long. But sometimes these teams can surprise you. So I do think that's a trickier group than people are probably giving it credit for. Group K, Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, Congo. Now, Portugal and Colombia, again, are probably the clear 2 favorites to come out of this group. But DR Congo was a very good representation of Africa. They beat a very good Nigeria team to qualify for this World Cup. And I do think they could be a very tricky opponent for both Portugal and Colombia. So once again, I do think that group is a bit more competitive than probably what people are expecting. Now, this group right here is one that I think is going to be absolutely blitzing, which is Group C of Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Now, Brazil, Morocco, again on paper, would probably be the 2 clear favorites. But Scotland have a lot of top-level Premier League and European League players in their team that I do think they could cause Brazil and Morocco a lot of problems. And shout out to anybody on here that's from Haiti, but you guys are just there to participate. You're not really going to trouble anybody in this group, respectfully. But I do think those 3 teams of Scotland, Morocco, and Brazil could have a lot of competitive, and those could be some very interesting games. So that's definitely a group to watch for. And last but not least, Group L with England, Panama, Ghana, and Croatia. Now, once again on paper, Croatia and England are probably the 2 favorites to get out the group in the top 2 positions. But I do think Ghana, again, a top African representative. They've got a lot of Premier League and European League players in that African team. I do think Ghana will have a say in trying to sneak into one of those top 2 positions in Group L. But let me know which group you think is going to be the worst group of death in the comments below.